Hello and welcome to Weekly MTG, the only news show from in the building. My producer tells me to look at this camera. We set up the room a little differently. Things look nice. But we have a bit of an experimental show actually today. We have Steve Sunu, my normal co-host who would normally be sitting like here-ish, live on site via satellite at Magic Fest Richmond. He is going to be talking with people working behind the scenes to get set up for Mythic Championship 6, which is starting tomorrow. He's going to be talking to some people about Mystery Booster if he gets the chance, and answering your questions. So put them in chat if you want. I'll be watching to see what questions you have about anything that's on screen, about Mythic Championship 6, about Magic Fest Richmond, about Mystery Booster. We'll answer what ones we can. But first, I'm going to do the news, and then we'll get to Steve. We just had 3 quick items for this week. First of all, as you may or may not have already seen, today Magic the Gathering was inducted into the Toy Hall of Fame. So that was announced today that we were inducted. So a lot of people up in New York celebrating that today. Beyond that, Oko was banned in Brawl on Magic the Gathering Arena. That currently only applies to Arena, but we have another banned and restricted announcement coming November 18th, so who knows what will happen then. And then on Monday, we had the first of our weekly Pioneer banned and restricted announcements. Really just banned, because we don't restrict cards in that format. Felidar Guardian, Oath of Nissa, and Leyline of Abundance were first on the chopping block after those decks put up very strong results in the first week of testing. We'll have another announcement for Pioneer Ban on Monday that may or may not include cards. We can announce that there are no changes. One change we are making this week is that we are going to line up the Magic Online and the paper effective dates. Last week we had the paper effective date take place on Friday, which is tomorrow, but we're going to line those up next week to make sure that everybody has time to get their tournaments going, since this is kind of a fast-moving format at this point. But for now, let's move to Magic Fest Richmond and Steve Sunu. I'm going to put on some headphones so I can hear what he's saying. And Steve, how are you doing out there?
Hey, Blake, doing really well. I'm out here in Richmond, Virginia for Mythic Championship 6 and the Magic Fest, which is going to be here, actually, this weekend. It's starting right now. There are things going on at Magic Fest right now. Mm-hmm. You can see behind me the setup for the Mythic Championship. You can see that it's blocked by that sign, so I'll walk this way. We'll go down there. And check out some behind-the-scenes stuff later. But right now, look who I found. It's Melissa DeTora.
Hi, Melissa.
Hey, everyone.
Melissa, what are you doing here this weekend?
So I'm here representing our tabletop studio, formerly known as R&D, now known as Tabletop Studio or Studio X, just talking to players, getting feedback, watching Magic, and hopefully it's a lot of fun.
What are you most excited to see this weekend?
Great games of Limited, cool standard decks that aren't Oko, hopefully.
Seems reasonable. Oh my gosh, everybody look. It's the torso of Matt Tabak. And there he goes. No, he's just standing off frame very awkwardly now. Oh, wait, here he comes again. Oh, it's Matt Tabak.
It's part of Matt Tabak.
What are you guys doing? Yeah. Oh, we're on Weekly MTG. You heard of it?
Weekly MTG. No. I believe only in strong MTG, not weak. Strong.
Strongly
MTG. You heard it right here. You heard it here first. Matt Tabak's new streaming show, Strongly MTG, starting next year. It's not starting next year. So, Melissa, what you're going to be here at the Mythic Championship, looking at some stuff, watching some games, looking at some standard. Are you interested in experiencing anything at the Magic Fest this weekend?
Yes, so we just showed off some mystery boosters, and they're pretty sweet, so hopefully I can play in an event or something if I have time.
Awesome. What do we can't talk about what you're working on right now, but are you excited to be working on the things that you're working on right now?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Steve,
great.
Steve, ask her what she does with the when she talks to players at this event. What does she then do with the information that she gets from them?
That's a good question. So when you're talking to players at this event, what do you do with that feedback and that information once you get back to the tabletop studio?
Oh, great question. I take it back to the play design team and we just talk about it and just figure out what we can do better, see what mistakes we've made, and also see what worked well, and if we can do more of that. We just get all the feedback and just see what we can do with it.
Awesome. Well, obviously you've got a lot to see here today, so I'm going to get out of your hair. But thanks for being on the show. We're going to take a little tour of behind the scenes now, I think.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so we are going to walk this way, down over this way. So registration is currently taking place. There are players that are checking in for the Mythic Championship pretty much from now until, I want to say towards the end of the day. We're going to continue walking this way. Oh, I see a familiar face that some people might recognize. It's Riley Knight.
What's up? What's
Hey,
up?
Riley.
Yeah, so Riley, you're on coverage this weekend.
Coverage this weekend, absolutely. Looking forward to some Oko mirrors. No, look, we've chatted with a bunch of people. There are a lot of people who have come sort of. There's like level 1 Oko, there's blue green, there's level 2 Oko. You go up to Sultai, but then beyond that, like we've seen a couple of people who have come with some pretty surprising brews. So it'll be interesting to see how everything pans out.
Is there a matchup that you're particularly excited to see that's like a non-Oko versus Oko matchup?
All I want to see, man, all I want to see is Lucky Clover and my boy Edgewall Innkeeper. That's all I want to. I just want to see people like the Golgari Adventures deck. The Golgari Knight has got a lot of knights in it. I want to see people currying favor. I want to see people murderous riding. I want a swift ending. Swift ending,
yeah.
and murderous riding.
Yeah, both
the
of
whole
them.
thing.
Yeah.
But I can tell you this: hot inside scoop. We've got a bit of inside baseball here, a bit of inside magic. Gruul Adventures.
Really?
Gruul Adventures, right? I'm not going to say who's playing it, but you're going to be very surprised to see this deck in action. Because, like, the green adventure cards, sure. The red adventure cards? Like, what? With whom are we going on adventure apart from our good mate Boney G, Bone Crusher Giant?
Yeah.
There's going to be some tech.
I'm super excited to see this. So you're gonna be on the desk pretty much all weekend,
No,
or?
I'm in the booth. And I want to share something with the viewers as well. They may have noticed. I got a professional beard trim.
Whoa.
For this event. That's how
Whoa.
seriously I took it. I want to point. It's amazing, right? So I've
Yeah.
always trimmed my own beard, and I went to the barber, and I'm like, just give me the good stuff, Aaron. I want it, right? And I paid my $12, and this guy got a razor, got some scissors, removed hair from my face, and made it look like I've got more hair. I don't know how he did it. But I tell you what, my game face is on, partially obscured by this beard, but I'm ready to go. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing some elks. Looking forward to seeing some people kill some elks. We'll see how we go. Should be a good weekend, I'd say.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you in the booth, and you're looking sharp today, if I may say so.
Steve,
Is it the beard, maybe?
Steve, ask him what his.
one sec.
Oh, sorry.
Ask him.
What's up, Blake?
Yeah, ask him what his. What's he doing there today? What's his prep like before the show?
What are you doing here today? What's your prep like for the Mythic Championship today?
So we've done a bunch of different stuff. We get together in the morning and we talk about a bunch of boring logistics stuff, like who's on when, who's doing what, that sort of stuff. Go through the schedule, the runner show, as it's called, the ROS. We go through that. Talk about positions, call times, all that, like that sort of stuff. Sit down, then the experts talk us through the metagame, talk us through what we're expecting, how we're going to handle stuff. Like, it's tricky, we're going to have Oko mirrors. There's no way to get away from that, and we talked about some of the stuff that we're going to do to make sure that is as entertaining as possible. Oko doesn't have a lot of friends at the moment, but I think, and this is the fact of the matter is these games are going to be intricate. They're going to be interesting. The decision points and the back and forth really matters. So having an idiot like me in the booth, I need to get across all that. I need to know what I'm going to be up against, and that's really useful. And then it's a bunch of technical rehearsals. We go behind the stage. We put the headsets on. We talk. We get work out a little bit of a rhythm with the production staff. And then it's just pre-production for content. So I've interviewed about. That's why I know about the Gruul Adventures deck, because I did a deck tech on that with a certain player I'm sure everyone has heard of. And then stuff like the preview and ironing out stuff in the back end. So when we turn up tomorrow morning for the draft, hopefully all the gremlins have already been exercised out of the system. So, it's an important day. We get together and talk about both the technical side of it and the quality of the broadcast side of it. And look, everything going well, we're gonna have a successful broadcast starting tomorrow. So yeah,
awesome.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. And it'll be entertaining. There'll be a lot to get across.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Riley, and I'm sure you got a lot of prep to do. Yeah, thanks a lot. Good bump in India.
Yeah. So Steve, as you may be noticing, is working with lower tech option. He is working with his phone
lower tech option,
and some
but
headphones.
You know who doesn't work with lower tech options?
Marshall Sutcliffe
and Paul Cheon.
Oh my gosh.
Very high tech.
Very, very extremely high tech right here.
Wait, is this live?
Yeah, this
we
is
are
live.
Weekly MTG.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah. Yeah.
I almost just said something I really shouldn't have said on air.
But you didn't. You didn't.
No, I didn't.
That's the important thing.
Are you going to do this for the whole show?
Not for the whole show. So we're on live for Weekly MTG's regular streaming hour.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hi to Twitch chat.
Hello, Twitch chat.
Yep.
Ready to have some fun tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're gonna go chat lethal on some dinner. So
Yeah, they got to get some dinner. It's so we are on the East Coast here in Richmond, Virginia. That means that it's 3 hours time difference from you folks watching on the Pacific Coast. For those of you watching Eastern, I'm finally on your time zone, so you can actually see that. We're gonna quiet down a little bit more because it looks like they're actually filming some kind of segment or they're talking something over, so we have to be a little bit quieter now. But what I will do is I'm gonna activate the special flip option on my phone so that you can see through the other side of my camera. You can see here, this is where the magic happens, no pun intended. This is the feature match area over here. And then you can see the desk over here where Rich is speaking to somebody else about programming and stuff like that. And then what you see over here, I'll back up this way. This is where 500 players are going to be seated to play the Mythic Championship tomorrow. There are some people sitting and playing a little bit right now, in fact. So there's a lot going on here that we don't necessarily see on coverage or from the wonderful broadcast stream that Twitch that we put together for Twitch.
Yeah.
It's a really cool experience. If you're able to come out, if you're in Richmond, if you're planning on attending the Magic Fest, that's something that you can definitely do, right? Like you can come out here, you can see the players playing. Obviously, we won't let you come in and interfere and watch what they're doing, but you can come out here, you can see the spectacle. It's really, really cool. As I mentioned, players are still registering throughout the rest of the evening, and there's a lot going on. But as much as there's going to be going on here tomorrow, there's a ton going on in the Magic Fest area as well. And the cool part about it is you can go in between the Mythic Championship and the Magic Fest.
Yeah, which is pretty new this year. When I used to do coverage, these were my quiet times. This is when we'd get work done. This is when we'd interview players. You probably didn't see them, but I'm willing to bet behind those curtains back there are some text writers or some social media folks. Adam Saborski's got to be back there somewhere. But a lot of the pre-work that we did was done in those quiet hours. But now it's not so quiet.
It's certainly tougher to have quiet hours when the command zone is right here. So you can see the command zone set up by CFB Events for the Magic Fest. And then if you look behind me, that's the entrance to the Mythic Championship that we just walked through. Right now, the command zone's pretty empty. It is Thursday, after all. There are still people that are journeying here for the main event on Friday to do all the side events, to do all the cool stuff that happens at Magic Fest. But you can sort of see as I walk around how large this venue really is.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big venue. So lots of stuff has been going on already this weekend. There have been some, I think, Mythic Championship Last Chance qualifiers going on, as well as the Mystery Booster first ever world premiere sealed event, which is going on as we speak. They've already opened a bunch of boosters. They're playing their sealed decks. It's really, really cool. I was lucky enough to sit down and be able to see some people open these boosters, and it was just a really cool experience.
Yeah.
Definitely not like anything that I'd ever seen before.
Twitter is blowing up right now with people taking pictures of their pools and especially the R&D playtest cards. So I'm assuming you're heading over to that mystery booster area right now.
You know, I think I might. It is certainly the most crowded area of the room right now. There were I want to say, there were around 450 players that took part in that event. It's just a massive number.
Well, especially for basically day zero of a Magic Fest.
It was really impressive. And the people that I talked to were really excited about getting a chance to go in blind and open up some pretty weird cards that you would never normally see in a limited environment or a constructed environment, or really any environment.
Really?
So it's
weird is definitely a way to put it.
It is definitely pretty odd. So we've got it. I'll give you guys a better shot of this behind me. This is the main event area, and actually the mystery booster sealed event is taking place in the main event area today because the main event takes place tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we've got all of this really cool stuff. I'm gonna give you another view of the world from my eyes. You can see a lovely Ginger Brute banner with the hashtag MTG Richmond.
Just a couple Hall of Famers walking by.
Just a couple of Hall of Famers walking by. You know, no big deal. No big deal. And that's the type of thing you'll see if you come down to the Magic Fest. It's one of the advantages of it being with a Mythic Championship, right? So there are going to be a lot of really amazing players, a lot of really amazing people from the coverage team, a lot of amazing Magic the Gathering personalities and influencers all here for the Magic Fest this weekend. If you look over here, this is where people are congregating after they finish their rounds. So Over here, we've got some people finishing up some games, some people, rebuilding their decks. Since this isn't a competitive REL event.
So these are all Mystery Booster players, correct?
Yeah, these are all players that played in the Mystery Booster event, which is really, really cool. I mean, you get a chance to some of the conversations that you'll hear are centered around a lot of those playtest cards, some of those crazy interactions that you get when you get those playtest cards going. And I think I see somebody over there that I recognize who might be able to answer some questions about Mystery Booster if we can tear them away from answering questions of the adoring fans of the Mystery Booster so far. Let's see if we can get his attention. Looks like he's talking to some folks, but it looks like maybe I can sneak up on him.
Hold on.
Oh, it's Gavin Verhey.
Definitely.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, Gavin, how you doing?
I'm gonna put an earpiece in my ear.
Oh, here. Can we do it this way? No, it's got to be here. Here. We'll do it this way. Here. Easier. We did it.
Good job, guys.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, Gavin,
we did
can you
it.
hear me?
Are we live?
Yes.
We are live,
hello.
yes.
Hello,
Say
humans.
hello to Twitch.
Hi, Twitch.
So, Gavin, how's the Mystery Booster event going?
It is pretty awesome. People are having a blast. I've been approached by so many people saying this is some of the most fun Magic they've ever had in their life. They're smiling and nodding and showing off their decks to each other. And I mean, we're a round and a half in, or round in, and it's ending. And I'm still having people come up to me and be like, "Hey, have you seen this card?" or "Tell me about this card," or whatever. And people are really curious about what's in the set and just enjoying showing cards to each other.
What's some of the coolest stuff you've seen people build or do with these cards?
Well, I was actually just being shown a deck that has, so every pack has one of these playtest cards in them that are these cards we came up with. Some of them are things that we've tried in game design. Some of them are different things entirely. Some are just wild ideas we want to do for years, and we're curious how the public would like them. And there's one called the Sliver Monstrosity, which is Wooburg to cast, plus a colorless mana, of course, for good measure.
Of course.
And their deck has two of them. And they have a defense of the heart, where when your opponent has two or more creatures, you can sacrifice it to go get stuff. So they can go with their Sliver Monstrosity and maybe like an Elish Norn or something like that. It's been a blast to watch. It's almost like cube feeling, which is really fun, which is what we were going for.
So, Gavin, I think here I'm going to grab this from you.
Oh yeah, go for it.
I'm not going to let Blake be in your ear anymore. That just seems cruel.
Hey now,
Blake. Hey now. Gavin, I think there's been obviously a great reaction here in the center, but even inside the walls here, there's been a little bit of confusion of what's in a Mystery Booster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there any chance I could convince you to maybe open one up and we could maybe see what's in there and talk us through it?
Yes, Blake. So I've got packs and Steve. I've got packs right here. We're gonna open them up. I'm gonna kind of go through the slots and how this whole thing works. Players had a chance to open it up, and I'll crack one open right here.
All right, cool. Let's.
Players have had a chance to open them up and talk about them and all that stuff. So here. Should we just put it up?
Just open it up.
Open it on the table. Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
So the first thing you get.
Hold on. Let me do this. Here we go.
Oh, hello.
spin it around, yeah.
Working on it. There we go. Spin
Technology.
it around.
Okay, so the first thing you get in every pack is one of these playtest cards. So these are a card that might do something totally. They're not silver bordered, like they all work in Magic rules, but they're kind of pushing the limits. They're I call it Future Sight. Basically, the set is Chaos Draft meets Future Sight, which is really, really exciting. So you get to have all the fun that you love out of Chaos Draft, one of my favorite formats, plus some unusual kind of stuff going on with these playtest cards. Here's a great example. This one, it has this legacy mechanic where it has its abilities fill up over time. So you can make mana over the course of the tournament with it 5 times. So you have to be very careful about when you want to choose to make the mana with it. It's a brand new card. This is the only brand new thing that are in these packs. Everything else is a reprint from a previous set. So you get that in the front. Then you'll get 2 white cards, and these can be commons or uncommons. So they can be from all across the M15 card frame. So anything there. So we've got 2 here. We've got 2 here.
Two blue cards.
Two blue cards.
So it looks like it follows the pattern like WUBR.
Yep,
It follows
so you're gonna
Wooburg, 2 cards.
2 white, 2 blue.
Yeah.
And, this is from a commander deck, for example, right? So they can be from
And
anywhere.
they could be any common or uncommons or a mix.
Common or uncommon, absolutely. And there's all kinds of stuff running through here. So here's Wooburg. Then you'll get to the multicolored card slot. This is a multicolored card. There's a long list of these that are possible. Soul Manipulation is the one here. You'll get an
artifact, I'm guessing.
An artifact or a land. So we've got an artifact and a land that'll pop up here. Then we get into one of my favorite slots.
Ooh.
This is the
nice.
the old card frame slot. So we haven't seen these in a while, right?
No, it's been a bit.
These are-
This, in fact, is a from the set symbol. This was originally printed in Onslaught.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you'll notice that all the cards here have this little Planeswalker symbol in the corner. This is just to indicate that this is from the Mystery Booster set. So that way people know, hey, these aren't from the very first printing, so collectors will know which ones are which. But that's what this little mark here is indicating. And then finally, you get to your M15 forward rare or mythic rare.
That's pretty sweet.
Ooh, in this case, we've got Sliver Hive Lord. So this is a pretty exciting card. There's a few Slivers running around in the set, so of course you can combo with that. This is also just a card that's exciting to own. So those are just some examples of the kind of things you can get here. There's a ton of cards in the set. I'm not going to say exactly how many yet, but I've enjoyed people talking online on trying to figure out how many cards there are and what their decks will look like and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of cool stuff in these packs, and people here are having a blast with it. They'll be able to play it all weekend long.
Yeah, and these aren't something that I've heard said is that these are potentially. Hold on a second. Come on. That these are potentially cards that were like cobbled together, but these were printed especially for this product, right?
Absolutely, yeah. This is all from a curated list that we've chosen. It's not just random for Magic history or anything like that. There's cards that are intentionally in this set, and the set is large. It's easily the largest Magic set we've ever made, but things are very, very carefully curated to give you, especially on the rare and mythic rare level, a lot of stuff you'll want to own.
Yep.
Very cool, man.
Yeah, well, people here are having a blast with it. I've been walking around watching games. Maybe Steve here will be able to show some of them to you. But it is a blast.
So Steve, we've got some questions from chat.
I'll be playing it tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday.
All right, Gavin. Blake tells me we have some questions from chat, so he's going to tell me, and then I'll just relay them to you.
Yep.
I will take them.
Yeah.
I can't hear Blake, so I'm just going to trust whatever Steve tells me is true.
Yeah,
he's just going to make stuff up.
Dangerous thing. Yeah.
Are there any foils in any of the packs?
Are there any foils in any of the packs?
No, there are no foils in any of these packs. Just the way that the coalition ended working out, we decided to not put foils in here. But it's not to say it's impossible for us to put foils in here. So you'll hear more about that next week.
Yep. Speaking of, so I'm going to answer this next question.
Blake is going to answer this one. So
the question is, when are we going to get the list and more details and all that stuff? The answer is Monday. So
yes, we will get more details on Monday.
Yep.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, we've got a series of articles coming out next Monday talking about what the store version is, what the convention version is like. We've got a full card list going up on Monday, so the whole kit and caboodle.
Yep. We'll also talk about the specific differences between the convention one and the store version.
Any other questions from Twitch chat, Blake?
I think they mostly wanted to know the details of this. Any other chat? Any other questions for Gavin? Well, we've got him here. Gavin is going to be writing an article that will run later next week that will talk about the philosophy and how they decided what to pick and how they built this set. And will the details on the store version, so we're getting a lot of questions on the store version.
A lot of questions about the store version.
The details on that will come next week. So we'll have that in the article. We're going to enjoy the convention version this time. So how about this, Gavin? Are the test cards hand-drawn or printed on the sticker?
So they want to know if the test cards are is there a sticker on the test cards?
No, although it's very convincing. Whenever I pick one up, I think there's going to be a sticker, and then I rub my hands over it, and it's actually smooth. It's great card design done by James Arnold. And like I said, there are a mix of things we might do in the future, things we might never do, things we've always wanted to do and want your opinions on. So definitely let us know what you think about some of these cards. And some of them are just fun jokes.
Gavin, what is the oldest set one of the cards comes from?
What is the oldest set that one of the cards comes from?
Mirage. So it goes all the way back,
Mirage.
and they have the old card frame and everything. So you can open up like all kinds of old stuff in here.
We don't want to give it away. There's a lot, like you saw Weathered Wayfarer in there from Onslaught.
Yeah.
I know that some people have been seeing some other stuff. When I opened up my sealed pool, I got a Dictate of Erebos, which was cool.
I mean, listing off a few things that you can find in here that I've seen people be excited about. Ristic Study is one, of course, from Prophecy, a popular commander card. Is in here, so that's like one of the many cool old things you can open up, and then there's things like the Commander deck to Fairy, which is in these packs, which is old, and that's super exciting. So yeah, there's a lot of neat stuff rolling around in here.
This is a good question for people who like this sort of thing. Are there any cards that were reprinted with a white border?
Are there any cards that were reprinted with a white border?
No, all the cards that appear in this product are black bordered.
Okay. Now, that doesn't rule out any cards if a card was printed with white border that wasn't the first time it was printed. The next question is, how long will the product be around for? So there are two versions of this.
How long will the product be around for?
Yeah, so it's the convention version is debuting here at Magic Fest Richmond. It'll be at most Magic Fest and some conventions for the rest of the year. And then it's intended to be at all Magic Fests next year and conventions while supplies last. So it should be around for most, if not all, Magic Fests next year and a few more this year as well. So if you have a Magic Fest near you, you can come and check it out.
Yeah, and I believe Channel Fireball tweeted out today which Magic Fests would have mystery boosters, and I think it's all of them except for one, if I'm remembering correctly. But don't quote me on that.
You should definitely check out cfbevents.com.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, great question, Gavin. For the older cards, did we use the original text or the Oracle text?
For the older cards, did we use the original text or the Oracle text, Gavin?
Everything. So the way that these cards work, I'll actually pull one up here for a second, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, I'll even go this way. I'll flip the camera for you.
So all these cards are as they're exactly originally printed, down to every single detail, except for this little Planeswalker symbol. So the creature types are the same as they were originally printed. The rules text is the same as they were originally printed. So they are exact carbon copies, except for that little Planeswalker symbol. So if you open up a card from Mirage or Visions or whatever, it'll read just like a Mirage or Visions card did.
Mm-hmm. Great. Next question is, when is this coming to local game stores?
When is this coming to local game stores, Gavin?
It's coming to game stores next year.
Next year.
March,
Have to
specifically
actually,
March.
Move out of this area because they just called for round 2. So we're currently at a table. We got to clean some stuff up. But yeah, if Chad has more, we can move, and if Chad has more questions for Gavin, we can continue. Yeah, let's go this way.
Yeah.
We'll maybe go towards the main event stage, answer some questions on the main event stage. How about that?
Yeah, so we're going to have more details on the in-store version, but the in-store version will be available early next year in March.
Any other what other questions we got for Gavin Verhey and maybe Matt Tabak, who's hanging out?
Sure.
Matt Tabak wants to answer
I
questions.
can answer questions. What's up?
So here's, I guess, this one's probably for Gavin.
Oh, this one's for Gavin.
Does this open up the
My surprise.
Does this open up the possibility for new cards to be printed in the original card style?
Does this open up the possibility for new cards to be printed in the old card frame style?
Theoretically, I'll let you know there aren't any inside these mystery boosters as they stand currently, but in a future mystery booster product is certainly possible, or some other product we might make.
Mm-hmm.
Fun question.
Is this a limited print run?
Is this a limited print run?
Well, like I said earlier, it's while supplies last at Magic Fest. So, we have an amount for Magic Fest, and we'll gauge how demand goes as the year goes on, but I expect that when it runs out, it'll run out.
Mm-hmm.
It is limited in the sense that we lack the physical capacity to print unlimited boosters. We literally cannot print infinite boosters. So there is a limit. That's just science.
Matt Tabak, always helpful. Thank you, Matt.
I'm here to help.
Yeah, he is. He's here to help, and then immediately walks away.
And while Matt Tabak is here, I'll mention.
What's up?
While Matt Tabak is here, I'll mention that there is a FAQ on all of the playtest cards. That'll be going up on Monday next week as well.
Yes,
so
it will.
If you see some and you're like, "Wow, how does that thing work?" We've got rulings for all of them.
We wanted it to be chaos for the judges
hour and a
this
half,
weekend.
I have to go add to that document. So.
But they are wonderful, and that'll be up on Monday as well.
Any other questions from Twitch chat?
Let's see. Matt, are the Packers going to beat the Panthers this weekend?
Matt, are the Packers going to beat the Panthers this week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Big comeback week. We learned our lesson last week, got a little full of ourselves. We're believing our own press a little bit, but I believe Matt LaFleur has got this on lock.
There you go. There you have it.
All right. The next question is, Gavin, do you have a favorite?
Stuff about Magic too, Twitch.
You can stick
Ask
around
the
for this
question.
question, Matt. Do you
You
have
can
a
stick around for this question.
All
if
right,
you want.
cool. I'll stick around.
Do you have a favorite of the playtest cards?
Ooh, do you have a favorite of the playtest cards? We'll start with Matt.
Okay, so I have an obvious answer here, which is the art one. I can say this, right? Okay, the one I did art for, which is terrible, terrible art. That's Barry's Land, which is a nod to my history as judge. It's kind of a rules-based joke that goes back many years. So the stick figure on the cloud, Barry's Land, I like that one. As far as play goes, oh man, there's so many choices. I really like How to Keep an Izzet Mage Busy. That one's funny. I really like. There's a ton. There's so many in these. I assume you're talking playtest cards.
Yeah.
Not anything else in the set. I'll keep thinking about it.
For
Thanks, Chad.
for those who haven't seen it yet on social media, how to keep an Is It Mage busy is 1 blue or red hybrid mana, and it is a sorcery that its only effect is return this spell to your hand. That is it.
Gavin, what about you? What's your favorite playtest card?
My favorite card is Problematic Volcano for reasons that if you know my backstory, you may know about. You can also just Google Gavin Volcano and you can read my story about it. But yeah, I've got a long-standing history with Volcano, so to get to illustrate that one and design the card was a lot of fun.
I would think you and the Volcano would be at odds.
We really made ends.
You made
we made up. Yeah.
Hugged it out. All right.
What else we got, Blake?
How many languages is this printed in?
How many languages is this available in?
This is an English-only product. There's a lot of cards here, and there's these wild playtest cards with a lot of kind of in-jokes in the name. So it was English only for this run.
And some of the playtest cards are only English technically.
In the loosest definition of English.
Loosest possible sense of English.
Does this product change the legality of any of these cards in any formats?
Does this product change the legality of any of these cards in their respective formats?
Nope, it's all just reprints, so they'll be legal in whatever formats the cards are legal in. The playtest cards aren't legal in anything, although we designed them with Cube and Commander in mind, so if your playgroup allows them in Commander, great. If your cube wants to add them in, I made a bunch of them pretty cube exciting, I think, so they're pretty good for cubes. And then all the other normal cards are just legal in whatever format they're normally legal in. So if you open, say, I don't know, Mana Crypt, let's say, that's legal in Vintage.
Yeah.
And Commander.
Yes.
And Cube.
Yeah.
For just a brief second, I thought you were going to go rogue and just be like, Standard! They're all in Standard! Every
They're
one
not.
of them.
Nobody clipped
They are
that.
definitely
Nobody
not.
clipped that.
All right, I have a Tayback question.
Ooh, Tayback question.
So the playtest cards, so Gavin said that the playtest cards work within the rules, but the Time Walk card makes tokens that get shuffled into your library. Don't these disappear as state-based effects?
So it's a question about Time Sidewalk making Time Walk tokens getting shuffled into your deck. Don't those tokens immediately disappear as a state-based effect?
So no, in the universe where you are creating token cards do not cease to exist like mere tokens. So your Time Walks, your reassembling skeletons, what have you. Of course, you can use the Time Walk tokens if you have any. Given that we didn't print any, that would be surprising. But you can, if you happen to have 4 Time Walks flying around, that's
Baller.
I didn't know I could say baller. That's baller. No, token cards do not disappear. The card does what it promises to do.
And the way that I would normally play that is, identify, hey, these 4 basic lands are going to be treated as these tokens or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, for like the event going on right over here, it's important to communicate to your opponent. And this is all stuff your opponent knows is going on, so it's not a secret. These planes are my Time Walks, whatever.
Fun fact about the card Time Sidewalk, I illustrated that card.
Hey.
I did not design it, but I did illustrate it.
Another question for Matt. This one could be
Another question for Matt.
This one could be tongue-in-cheek or it could be serious. We don't know.
Could be tongue-in-cheek or serious, no idea.
How does banding work?
How does banding work?
How does exceptionally well in many combat situations. It really gives you the advantage. Doing what banding allows you to do as both as the attacker or as the defender is a real plus in combat. It can give you edges that not having banding denies you. So those edges that banding gives you, you won't have if they don't have banding. So banding works really well. I recommend it.
The reminder text on banding Sliver will tell you most of what you need to know. If you're curious what banding Sliver does, I hope the name will inform you.
Indeed. Anything else, Blake?
We're getting a bunch of questions of, is this in the set? Is this not in the set?
We will not confirm whether anything is or is not in the set on this stream.
Watch social media, and on Monday we'll have
we
more
talked about by
information.
name.
Yeah, except for those. Except for those. And the ones that we might have opened on stream. So, there's that.
Yeah, there's some confirmation here or there. Nope, that's all we have for questions for Matt and Gavin. So thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you both for being on this special live stream version of Weekly MTG. I guess it's live streamed all the time, but coming live to you from Richmond.
Thanks, Twitch.
Thanks, everybody. See you on the internet.
All right, so I'm going to head on away and continue walking so that everybody can see a little bit more of what's going on here at Magic Fest. So round 2 has started for the mystery booster sealed event, and you can sort of see it's pretty crowded. There are a lot of people playing here. It's going all the way up to the 200 tables.
I'm surprised there's only one judge call going on right now.
In fairness, Blake, round 1 had already happened, right? Round 1 happened already.
So most of the time sidewalk questions have been worked out.
I'd imagine so. I heard quite a few different judge calls when I was standing around listening, and there's a lot going on in these games. There were people on either side of me that were playing cards that I hadn't seen opened around my tables when I was opening my pool. So there's a lot of cards in this set that I think some that maybe people haven't even discovered yet.
Mm-hmm.
So just because you opened a 6, like for most sets, just because you opened a 6 card or 6 booster sealed pool doesn't mean that you're going to see everything that the set has to offer.
Absolutely. Well, Steve, I'm going to let you go spy on some mystery booster games, and let you go, and we'll talk a little bit more with the audience. But thank you for Skyping in with us.
Hey, thanks everybody. And if you're in Richmond, please make sure to come down to Magic Fest. Come down and see the Mythic Championship. It's something you're not going to want to miss.
All right. See you, Steve.
Bye.
For everyone else, thank you for tuning in. We are about done for the day, but I do want to highlight next week's show, which if you are interested in Mystery Booster, you will definitely want to tune in for, because we are going to do a live 6-person Mystery Booster draft right here on twitch.tv/magic from 2 to 3 p.m. Pacific time, and we're going to have Matt Tabak is going to be there. He's going to fly back from Richmond. He's going to come on the show. Aaron Forsyth, Elaine Chase, Mark Hagan, and then, of course, Steve and I will be there as well. And so we'll follow one player's draft. We'll all talk about the format and the cards in the set and whatever else we feel like talking about. So come join us for that. In the meantime, stay tuned. On Monday, we will unveil actual information about the Mystery Booster and the Mystery Booster for stores. So tune in Monday on dailymtg.com. That's all I have for today. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week.